Beloved Baba's last seclusion started from 1967, and that period was really most important for his universal work. He was doing what he was doing, no one can understand it. But whatever we have seen, whatever we have observed, I just want to describe. So when he was in seclusion, he entered, and Kekobad, one of the Mandali, would be with him. And what Baba would do, nobody would see, but Baba told us that he was Kekobad would repeat 7 names of God continuously. He would stand before him, and Baba would continuously bow down to him for 3 hours. 3 hours. And then after this 3 hours, he would call the Mandali, and the prayers would be there. Master's prayer and repentance prayer. And afterwards, Baba gave the David God, the third prayer. And though there was a strict order from Baba that nobody should write to him and nobody should come to see him, but letters would come. What happened during this period? During this period, people would go from place to place, Baba lovers, and they would tell them about Baba. And they were quite new, never saw Baba, so they would write letters for his darshan or some few words from him. So it went on for some months only. And then Kekobad one day, he fell down and he broke his bone. So he was sent to hospital. And Baba said, this is setback in my work. Maya is disturbing me. But I would not leave it. I will do it. Now Maya illusion. Maya is disturbing me. How she can disturb? Now we hear his name, we follow him, but mind works. Mind goes on working. And that's why that was the disturbance. Our self is their false self, and false self always asserts itself. So what would happen? Then Baba said, all right, Kekobad, she would not be able to come back. He would be in the hospital for a long time. So I would myself work. And one day, he says to me, will you be with me there? Seclusion work. And I thought, Baba, Kekobad, quite different thing. And of course I know nothing. So Baba says, all right. But then, when Baba would work twice, in the morning for 3 hours and in the afternoon for half an hour. So at that time I would be there. So when he would work, I would be there and he would just pound his thighs continuously. And one day, that nail, of course, struck him and he was bleeding. But I could not say. I was just quiet. When work was over, then of course I told him, Baba, now bleeding is there, should I call Dr. Kavir? He said yes. But he did not mean he would work on higher planes. And why he would do this? In order to have the link with this gross world. So, and that's why something should be there. So he would pound his thighs and they had become like stone. Like stone, and the Baba would ask the monthly members. And somebody would come whom Baba would call, just see. And it was like a stone. And of course, we could not realize why he was doing this. But he should be so absorbed that when I was there, I saw that he would remain absorbed. And of course, his work he continued. And the work he continued, and his health started deteriorating. So sometimes he would come at 6 o'clock in the morning, sometimes at 5:30. And he would want that all the monthly members would be there. And he would see the face of everyone. And then he would say, all right, go out and keep watch. We would not allow even a bird to come there, so that no noise would be there. So he continued. His work, health went on deteriorating. And then we went to Pune. Pune we went, and what happened there? When we were coming from Pune, so Francis, he was a writer and he was a poet. So he would write during night time. During night time he would write. So he would get up late. But when Baba would be there, Baba would call him. So he would come tired. Baba would see his face, all right, go, have tea. And then he would start his work. So in Pune, from Pune when we are coming back to MeherBabaLibrary, so Baba says to Francis, Francis, don't worry. My health will be very much affected by the work. And sometimes I may come to the Manali hall and sometimes I will not. So, and if I come, I will come very late. So you sleep, don't worry. And Francis was very, very happy. Very happy. Now we came back to MeherBabaLibrary. First day Baba came at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Whether Francis is there, call him. So I would go and call him. Francis, Baba has come, he wants you. He said, oh. And with great difficulty he would come like this. And Baba would look at him and would say, now go and have tea. Next day Baba came at 5:30. Francis, everyone was present. Francis was not present. Call him. I called. Francis, Baba has come. Oh. With great difficulty he got up and then came. Third day, Baba came at 5 o'clock, early in the morning. And I went again to call him. This bloody avatar. He told me that he would come late and he is coming so early. And I laughed. But his work, of course, his work he would do, his health was deteriorating. And then he would get spasm after spasm. But then he did not stop his work. He did not stop. In the meantime, of course, so many things happened. Baba's health was deteriorating and he would not be able to walk properly. But then sometimes he would call people, come to see me. And he would catch hold of that person's hand and he would walk very fast. And hand, when he would catch hold of, then of course very firm grip. And he would say, Baba, you are very strong. And we would hear that the remark, you are very strong. It was just to give us consolation that he's all right, he was strong. So sometimes he would call this one, sometimes that one, and he would just walk very fast to show. Then afterwards, work was continued, and his health was spasm after spasm. But there was one Kaka Baria. Kaka Baria was the person, he was the manager of MeherBabaLibrary. MeherBabaLibrary he was in charge, manager. And he was the one of whose Baba asked him that he would be buried here. Only Kaka Baria would be buried at MeherBabaLibrary, no one else. And he was very, very happy. Now Baidul, another one. So both were doing much work in the beginning. Then afterwards, Baidul, he was very strong and hefty. So he got sick. Baidul got sick. And Kaka says, when he dies, throw his body out so that the birds would come and ducks would come. It is risky. Both would fight. Now what happens? Baidul got sick. And one day, the farmers of Pimpalgaon village, they came just to drink water and all spade and other thing they had brought. And Kaka said, who are these people? And I said to him, that grave should be dug here. Baba has said that if Baidul dies, so get the grave dug now. He says, no, he is not going to die. He calls some person and he says, just go and check, how is he? And he goes and comes back. He says, Kaka, no hope. No hope. Then of course Kaka says, no, because he did not eat and that's why it happened. So he was the manager. Biscuit and this and that, everything he gave. Very liberal he became. So he takes this and you just be there, ask him to eat and then see his pulse and give me the report. So he takes, after some time he returns and he says, Now there is hope, little hope is there. I told you that because he does not eat it, that's why it has happened. But tomorrow, tell him, tomorrow I will take him to Baba and he will be perfectly alright. And Kaka himself, he was also suffering from heart attack. His story is quite different. But next day, of course, before Baba came, he just goes to Baidul and very lovingly takes his hand and he says, put your one hand here, and then brings to Mandli Hall, gives him chair, and Baba comes and Baba saw him. Oh, now you have become friends, both of you. So, but he would do that. He would do that. Nobody would be buried there at MeherBabaLibrary. So the Kaka, at that time, he also got heart attack. Before that, he had urea trouble. So Baba had sent him to hospital. When Baba was in Pune, Adi Kirani, Baba's secretary, informed Baba. So Baba said that take him to hospital and arrange his treatment. So he did that. Now Baba was coming to MeherBabaLibrary. And Baba of course says that Kaka, if he is not there, then he would feel very bad. So he sent instruction to Adi Kirani that when I go there at that time, bring Kaka there from the hospital. And we reached there and Adi Kirani brought Kaka. Kaka was sitting near Baba's chair. And Baba says, Kaka, how are you? And Kaka says, my bleed taken 5 times, 6 times, and sold out. Baba says, your blood was taken 5, 6 times, and it was sold out. I had told Adi to make proper arrangement for you. And he did this. Your blood was taken and sold out. He said, yes, every day, 5 times, 6 times. His speech was affected, and that's why he was sent to hospital. So then, of course, Baba said that call Adi Kirani. Adi comes. Adi comes and Baba said, what instruction I had given to you? I had given the instruction to admit him in the hospital and arrange best of the treatment. And this arrangement you made, that his blood was taken out and sold out. Adi just laughed. He knew. So then Baba said, all right, do one thing. Now go immediately and bring that man whom that blood was sold out and he was given. So Kaka hears, no, I don't want that blood. I don't want that blood. So what do you want? He said, he has taken, sold out, but I don't care now. I don't want. He forgot completely. Otherwise, every day he would have said that his blood was taken and sold out. He loved Baba very much, very obedient. Now I tell you that afterwards, it so happened that he got heart attack. So Baba was in Mandli Hall and he went to bathroom to take bath. And then, of course, Baba left and we all went for lunch. Kaka was not there, so Iraj was very particular. He goes here and Kaka. So 2 boys, they were working there. So they said that Kaka had been to bathroom. So Iraj goes there, Kaka, no response. And then he climbed up and saw through ventilators. Kaka was lying unconscious. Unconscious. Anyway, the door was open and we all went to Kaka and in his room, and Khavir came to examine massive heart attack. But then she was treating, and Kaka was not a good patient, very difficult patient. So Aloba, at night, Aloba would be there. During daytime, whatever time I would get, I would be near Kaka. But he would not give me any trouble. Aloba, so when Aloba would give him medicine, so one white, one green, and one red. Next day, if Khavir would change the medicine, he would just see the color and then he would throw. Because change was there, he would throw and kick Aloba. So one day, Aloba comes to Khavir and he says, it is very, very difficult for me to attend Kaka. I cannot attend. He does not take medicine, he throws and he kicks me. So Khavir comes running to Baba. I was there. And he says to Baba, Baba, Kaka is a very serious patient. He should be sent to hospital. And Baba says, what do you think? He will die? He may die. So Baba says, when he is going to die, let him die here, because he will not feel happy. So Khavir could not say anything and she left. And Baba tells me he is not going to die. This is during the time of seclusion. Next day Baba comes and he tells Iraj and others, bring Kaka to the Manli hall. And Iraj says, Baba, he is a very serious patient. How to bring him? Baba says, lift him and bring. So we all lifted him and brought, and there was one chair. He was put on the chair. And Baba asked me to bring a glass of water. I brought and gave to Baba. And Baba gave to Kaka. Kaka drink. And he became young. He became young as soon as Baba left the Manli hall. He goes to the kitchen all alone. And he took food, and of course he would clean his own utensils and he would clean his own room. No attendance, nothing. Everything he would do. And he would say, from here to here, I am young. From here to here, I am old. His speech was very much affected. So, of course, every day we would hear, so we could grasp something. So the Kaka would come and sit near Baba. And Baba, of course, after his seclusion work, then after the prayer, and he would bow down to each one of the Manli. And then morning work would be over. And then would be all in the Manli hall. And of course the correspondence, people would write. So Iraj was dealing with English correspondence and I was dealing with Hindi correspondence. And then Baba, of course, would ask me to give him massage. So I would give him massage. And what was the duty of Kaka? It was not given, but what he would do, gradually, he would stand up. And he would come to me and he would give me a tight slap. and then shake hands with Baba. Shake hands with Baba. And Baba would feel very happy. So this was the duty Baba had given 5-6 times. When Baba would be there in Manli Hall, 5-6 times, and he would enjoy. And Baba's health was not good, and still he would enjoy. He would shake hands with Kaka, and he would feel very, very happy. One day, of course, Baba did not call me to give him massage. So I was sitting there. I wanted to read out correspondence. But then Baba looks at Kaka, says he is very restless. Come. So again I went, and as soon as I went, Kaka, of course, he started his work. So during seclusion time, when Baba was doing universal work very seriously, at that time this was also there, because Kaka was providing recreation to everyone. There was nothing. So when he would do this, so everyone would like and enjoy. I would also enjoy. It is not that I would feel bad about it, I would also enjoy. One day, Kaka was there, and I forgot. At that time, Baba also, after his work, he would give dictation for the nothing and everything. Only points he would give. 2 things he dictated word by word, and that is the story of mischievous chicken and 2 kings. He gave word by word. Rest of the things, of course, he would go on dictating. And he asked me not to ask any question. Everything would be crystal clear to you. Just take down. So sometimes you take infinite intelligence, sometimes you take another subject, then again would come back to infinite intelligence. So all these points here and there. But he would dictate. And then when he asked me, everything would be crystal clear. So I was thinking that Baba would explain to me. Baba would explain to me. So I must take down, so I will not ask anything. Now, during this time, one thing happened. And what was that? People would want Baba's darshan. Baba's darshan they wanted, and if darshan is not possible, then of course a few loving words from him directly. Sometimes he would hear the correspondence also, and he would dictate. So it was 67th birthday, 1967 his birthday. And then so many letters came, but one person had sent the letter. And in that letter, the message was given, something great will happen, which has never happened before. So he writes to me that Baba has said this birthday message is there. So I think that 3/4 of the world is going to be destroyed. And immediately, of course, first thing I replied to him, I said, why do you worry about 3/4? What you have to do with the 3/4? You are going to the different centers to give talks. So why Baba's love, and of course how we should behave, what we should do, how we should live in the world. Such things you should talk, not 3/4. Why do you bring? Because 3/4, I will tell you afterwards, the 3/4 of the world is going to be destroyed. I said, don't do that. I sent the letter. And in this evening I went to Baba. That particular day, Baba asked me, how many letters did you receive? I said, many letters, Baba. So just tell me who has written. Said this one, that one, all names. When that particular person's name came, I said, what did he write? What did he write? I said, he has written that Baba's message, birthday message is something great will happen, which has never happened before. So he thinks that 3/4 of the world is going to be destroyed. And he is going to different centers to talk. So he is going to tell them about 3/4 of the world. Did you reply? I said, yes. What did you write? I said, I wrote to him that why you bring 3/4 of the world? Just talk about love, talk about other things, obedience. He said, tomorrow again you write. That Baba says that whatever you think best, you must go and tell. You must go and tell. Yesterday I wrote that letter. And today, of course, when I went to Baba, he asked me about this. So whatever he is going to tell, he is free to tell. I said, again the difficulty. And what was that difficulty? Baba was in 1954. There was this declaration meeting. And declaration meeting, and Baba said that I am going to discard my vote. Meeting was 29th and 30th. On 30th September 1954, Baba said that I would drop my alphabet vote after 7 days. Then another thing Baba said that of course I would not meet people, I would remain in seclusion. And the most important thing, 3/4 of the world is going to be destroyed.
Who wrote this letter? Last name?
Which letter?
The letter that you wrote for Baba's birthday.
Rajnikant. So then, of course, this Baba had declared. So people 7 days were there. And again, something that someone would step on my back and I will die. And when people heard this, no correspondence, no one can go and meet Baba, and if Baba drops the body, you would not be able to go. So they thought that you must write letter to Baba, saying that Baba, you are just no communication, no correspondence. That means you are just breaking the external the connection. How can we live without you? And on 7th day, 7th October, Baba said that, did you receive letters? I said, yes, Baba, many letters. Many letters I received. Irachal had also received, but he did not write, did not receive such letters about 3/4 of the world and this. But I received almost all the letters, same contents. So I said to Baba, yes, many letters I have received. And Baba said, all right, 1 or 2 read out. So I read out. And I say almost all the letters are like this. And Baba immediately dictated the message that I am not breaking I am breaking only the external connection in order to bring you closer to me. Internal I am going to make the internal connection very strong. And because of that, external connection of course not necessary. And don't think that I will forget you. I can never forget anyone. I cannot forget. So know well that if correspondence is not there and you are not allowed to see me, still of course I am doing for this work, so don't worry. This message at that time he had given. And that message of course I sent to those who had written the letter. But then I forgot. So our must Dr. Desmukh, he was the person after Baba dropped his body and he said that should I print this message? I had written in Hindi, translated into English. Should I because this message is very important message. Because Baba has dropped his body, but his internal connection, it will remain and become more and more strong. This is the message Baba has given. So I said, yes, do it. So he translated it and of course he circulated to so many. How important message it is now. How important. That external connection is not there. He is not giving us order. But he is just bringing us closer and closer. When he was physically present, his suffering was physical and mental and spiritual. When he dropped his body, physical suffering is not there, but mental suffering is there and spiritual suffering. Because we have forgotten ourselves, we follow our own false self, and God is forgotten. So He is creating this. Creating means He is bringing us closer and closer. So know well that whatever He did during His physical presence, He is doing much more now. Much more now, and that's why people are coming. But they will come when the whole world will come. Just like at the time of Zoroaster, only people, Iran, they came to know about him. When afterwards Ram came, India and Sri Lanka. Then Krishna came, again India and of course Dwarka. Then Jesus came, Buddha came. So Buddha, of course, India, Burma, China and Japan. Now comes Jesus. All Western countries and in the other countries of the world, some here, some there. When Muhammad came, all Arab countries and also some in this country, other in that country, many. Now Pakistan and India, in India more Muslims than Pakistan, more Muslims. So, and then came MeherBaba. This time he has said that after his universal manifestation, the whole world will come to him. The whole world. But now, how his manifestation, the whole world will come, but universal manifestation. But now what is going on? How you have come? How you have come to him? Because you read about him, you heard about him, his internal work. His internal work nobody knows. You come to know through this one, that one, or you read some book, you see some picture. Oh, whose picture is this? Meher Baba's picture. Oh, very attractive. I saw that picture, and of course, I like that, and that's why I came. This is all external, but it is also because of that you come to him. But internal work, if internal preparation is not there, you cannot accept. Go to the market, see the people there, and tell them what will happen. Nothing. They will not be affected by that. So this is his work, internal work, message he gave in 1954. And see, we are just observing this. This is happening. This is happening, and more and more, more and more. So in seclusion, when he was there, he was doing this work for everyone. Everyone, no one will be ignored. Even the worst sinner will not be ignored. Because he is them. How can he ignore anyone? He is them. So this seclusion work at the end was very serious. Baba's health was very bad, but he would just continue his work. Then what happened? In 1968 October, he called the meeting. And then meeting only Mali members. Padri had come from Meherabad. Padri would be there at Meherabad. He was the manager there. And Adiki Rani, of course, he was the secretary. So he came from, he was called from Ahmednagar. And two persons, Keshavnar and Nigam and Pukar, Bhau had called, so they came. Now what happens? That Baba had the meeting, and Baba says, I completed my seclusion work to my entire satisfaction. Still, the tail is there, which I have to complete. And then, of course, Baba said that this is the last seclusion. And when Padri came on bicycle from Meherabad to Meherabad, he's old, very tall, and his back was giving him trouble. So he was sitting there. And then Baba also called, said about the darshan program, 1969 darshan program. He had arranged that. But Padri, when he heard, he says, Baba, now we are old. You close your shop. So what are you talking? I have not yet opened my shop. And I am preparing to open my shop, and you say close it. How can I close it when I have not opened it? Nobody could understand that. Nobody could understand. But then, of course, Baba says, how can I close it? So, of course, we could not understand, but we kept quiet. And Baba arranged that darshan program, 1969. Now, what happens? That there, of course, this, I would not find time. During night, I would be with him. During daytime, Mandli Hall, I would be with him. Correspondence, and then, of course, he would give me writing book work. And he was very, very particular about when he would give. Sometimes he would come in my room, and he said, he would ask me to read out what I had written. And he would take very much interest in that, just to give me some encouragement. So it went on, and one day, of course, when this letters had come, no, important thing I forgot. So I had no time, so I could not meet Keshav and Pokar. They were there at the time of meeting I made, but while I was going to Baba, at the time, I said, Jai Baba, and how is the work of Baba? It is going on very well, but Baba's biography is required. I heard this and went to Baba. And Baba says to me, did you meet Keshav and Pukar? I said, where was the time, Baba? While coming, of course, I met them. I said, Jai Baba, and they said, Jai Baba. And what else? What else? Nothing. Only thing I asked him, how is Baba's work? They are in Hamirpur. So what did you say? What did he say? He said, it is going on. And what else? I said, he was telling me that Baba's biography is required. He is right. He is right. Biography is required. I said, he had no time. And Baba asked me to write one book. And he's after me next day, he said, did you complete it? Yes. Did you complete it? So he said, yes, he is right. I said, who would write, Baba? You. I said, how can I have no time. You just say, I don't have any time. How can I write? He says, I will give you time. And when he said, I will give you time, I said, how he will give me time? I am just tied with so many work, so many responsibilities. I did not follow that he is going to drop his body. I did not know. But I will do, and then Baba did not say anything. But one day, he asked me, have you got Ramayana? I said, no, Ramayana means Ram's life in verse. I says, I don't have. So he says, can you get it? I said, I can get it from Ahmadnagar. So get it tomorrow. So next day, of course, I got it. And I got it. And when I went to Baba, did you get that book? I said, no, Baba. And yes, Baba. And he says, bring it. So I brought. And of course, he took from my hands. And then he opens. Read this couplet. I read. Again he closed. Again he opened. Read this. One couplet. 4-5 times he did. And he says, you will write better than this. And I said, Baba, please, I have no time. Just make me free from this writing work. He said, I will give you time. I had no idea at that time that Baba would drop his body. No one in the Mandi could understand that he would, because he would say something and immediately he would change, bring out different topics, and he would make us laugh. We could not understand what he was doing at that time, what was his work. We did not know. Then one day, then afterwards, Baba stopped coming to Mandi Hall because his body, of course, had become very weak, and he would get spasm after spasm. So we would go in his room up to 13th January. Of course, he would come. Then he stopped coming. So, and on 22nd and 23rd, 22nd Mehra's birthday, and 23rd, Baba's birthday would not be celebrated. Would not be celebrated at Mehra's Dad. People, of course, they would celebrate elsewhere, but not at Mehra's Dad. Mehra's birthday would be celebrated. And Baba himself would take part in that. And then, of course, 22nd, so when Baba would call us in his room, he stopped coming to Manli Hall. Then Kaka was restless because Kaka had no chance to give me that slap. So Baba made one couplet for him. Sai Baba, Baba Jan, Meher Baba Chhe Bhagwan, means Meher Baba is God. Sai Baba, Baba Jan. But Kaka would not pronounce it, he would not. And Edith would teach Sai Baba, Sai Baba, Sai Baba, Sai Baba. And with great difficulty he could say Sai Baba, Baba Jan, no Baba Jan. Meher Baba, no. So he invented his own singing. Sai Baba, ho, ho, ho. And of course, he would make us all happy. Baba would, though he was suffering, he was taking interest in that. So now 22nd, when Mehra's birthday was there, people, of course, many people came. Second day, there was the engagement of Amrit and Dara. So Amrit and Dara, that is another story, but I will not say it today. So for engagement, they had come, and Baba's health was so bad. But when he would go, then he would look very brilliant. Nobody would know that, of course, Baba is suffering. Oh, Baba looks so glorious. So that day, of course, Kumar's daughter, Satrugn Kumar, his daughter Amrit. So whole family had come and they were staying at Mehradar. Now what happens that Kumar, because he came, so in some days, Sai Baba, ho, ho, ho. So he wanted to perform this singing. And he came to Baba and he said, Baba, 2 minutes. And Baba said, all right, 2 minutes. So he said, Sai Baba, ho, ho, ho. And Kaka was boiling. He wanted to murder him, kill him. And Kaka looked at him, and Baba looked at him, and he said, no, he's pretty bad, you sit down. And Kaka comes. Then Kaka was very happy, Sai Baba, ho, ho, ho. That was his singing. And then, of course, all this was happening. And Baba's health, when he would be in his room, he was quite different. He would suffer and suffer. So Baba's old follower, Sadasiv Patel from Pune, he was the one who was with Baba when Baba would go to Banaras, Watchman Maharaj had sent him. So Sadasiv was there. And there is also a story that Sai Baba's anniversary, first anniversary, should be celebrated in Banaras. This is the place of Hindu pilgrimage. And of course, Upasni Maharaj went there and every day, yajna. Yajna means fire. And you put butter and different things go on for hours together. And And then Baba went. Baba went, and Baba's dress quite different. So all those priests, they took objection, who is this? And Upasni Maharaj says, he is Jagat Narayan. Jagat Narayan name Hindu, but Jagat Narayan means the Lord of the universe. But they heard Jagat Narayan, oh, all right, they did not take any objection. So Jagat Narayan is still in their book, it is written Jagat Narayan. The year, if you say, go and tell the year, this year, Upasni Jagat Narayan had come see your book. So you will find that. Because they would write down address and everything. So then of course, Baba, from there of course how Meher Baba being so Upasni Maharaj told Baba to come to Nasik. Nasik is the place where of course 10 miles from Nasik there is one cave and mountain, Barbuda. So there Upasni Maharaj went there, Baba went there, and Upasni Maharaj, before his realization, he went there to die. Very deep cave. So he thought that now I must die. So he went there and he was there. And one day he felt very, very thirsty. And rain came. Rain came and he forgot that he was there to die. But as soon as rain came and water came, so he drank the water. And when he drank the water, he thought that now I wanted to die, but something else is there. There was a food from Sai Baba. So he went to Sai Baba and he got godliness. But there, Baba with Upasni Maharaj, Baba wrote that ghazal, न खाया तू न पिया तू जब तक न राम पाया तू. Means you did not eat, you did not sleep until the time you found Ram. There on Upasni Maharaj he wrote their ghazal. And then afterwards Upasni Maharaj left and Baba was there 40 days in seclusion and he was observing fast, but water he would drink. So there was one person, his name was Sayyid Sahib. So he was from Nasik. So he would bring water for Baba every day. And after 40 days, when Baba came out and went to Nasik to his house, Baba stayed there. And he says to Baba, Baba, some names should be given to you. You are not Meherwan. You did not tell anyone. But I feel, when I was taking water, I was feeling all the time 40 days with you. So some names should be given. And I called the Mandi. So he sent letter to the Mandi. Those who were coming at that time. So he sent the letter and then of course they came. They came and he said, Sayyid Sahib says, now that some name should be given to him. No one should call him Meherwan. He is not Meherwan, he is something else. So Baba says, all right, what name? So everyone says this name, that name. But Sayyid Sahib himself says Meher Baba. And Baba accepted. And then of course, since that time, 1919, Meher Baba. Otherwise, previously Meherwan. So that Meher Baba, why he came, what he has done, the world will realize. What Lord Jesus did, nobody realized at that time. But afterwards, the world came to know Who did that work? Who did that work? He himself. He himself was doing. So now this last phase of Baba's seclusion, at that time, though Baba was suffering, but he would just say something and the change. One day, Baba was lying down in his bed and he says, if I give my darshan to my lovers while lying down, so whether people will feel bad, my lovers will feel bad. So Francis says immediately, if they are your lovers, they should not feel bad. Why? Because of course, in that condition, when you are suffering and you are meeting them, you are giving them this privilege to see you. So how can they feel bad about it? And Baba says, I am very happy to hear this answer. I am very, very happy. Because my lovers, if they are my lovers, there is nothing for them to think about it. They just think about me and my wish. So in this way you would go on changing. But now I come to 29th January. Baba would not come to the Manli hall. So all Manli would be there during daytime with Baba. Night time I would be alone. And Baba would not be able to take turn. And 6 persons would be required to give him turn. But at night he would help me. I would give. Then Aloba was also there. This is the last thing Aloba did. Last thing means he was previously, of course, when Baba went to Pune, at that time Aloba's duty means 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. on watch. And then Baba says, tell him not to make any noise, not to make any movement, and not to sleep. So I would tell Aloba, when he would come at 5, that this is Baba's order, don't make any noise and don't make any movement. Aloba went to that extent that he would not sit on the chair. One day he sat on the chair and something happened, so some noise called Bhau. And he made noise. What to do now? For 1 hour he comes, still he does not allow me to take rest. Poor Aloba would sit on the floor. Still something would happen and he would call me. So it was not that my duty was only up to 5 o'clock. It was up to 6 o'clock. Then Baba would get up and then of course he would wash this. So then women only would take care. But at that time, 1 hour, but lastly, Baba gave him the chance. So he would come. And then no complaint about him. Aloba was such person that when Baba would get up and then after the mosquito net would be just put off. And then Baba would sleep, means take rest. Then of course you have to put it on again. And Baba would find that mosquito were there. So mosquito, how did you not just did something so that the mosquito would go out? So I did. How many times? Only 1 time. Baba said, do more. So you tell me, how many times? Baba said, all right, 5 times. Do 5 times. So he would do 5 times, he would not see whether mosquitoes are there or not. 5 times he would do that. And of course, but last time he got this chance and he would keep, but no complaint. On the contrary, Baba was enjoying. So then on 29th January, Baba would ask me to write ghazals. And ghazals and one line every night when I would go to him, he would give one line. Last line he gave to me on 29th January. And what was that? What shall we do when you have gone away? And of course, I just put that light there in his room. And I did not, because he was suffering and suffering. But on 24th January, he, during night time, night watch, he said that today I am going to give you important work. Don't ask me any question. And little moment means spasm. So I just heard half an hour he gave me instruction for the biography. Different chapters, how many pages, everything he gave instruction, and I thought that I must not ask anything now, because Baba was getting spasm. So, and 29th he gave me line of ghazal. One day, at that time, of course, still that half an hour work, it was going on. But one day, what happened, that Baba asked me, because he had become very weak, you do it. He would just pound like this, and I had no heart to do that. I would do it, but very slow. And he would not like the last day, 30th January. 30th January, of course, he had given that 30th January, last day of his universal work. Last day. And he could not sit. So while lying down in the bed, he asked me to count. You hear. And it was so difficult for me how to do it. So I did like this. And he did not like it. So he himself started pounding. And I felt so bad that here, of course, I think that I'm helping Baba. I'm not helping. I'm giving him more trouble. I was repenting, and of course Baba did his work. And he looked at me. He knew that I was feeling very bad. So he said, call Eraj. I called him. And Baba says to Eraj, how is Bhau? Eraj says, he's matchless. All right, go. But I could understand that in order to console me, Baba is doing this. But that's why to obey his order, it is not easy thing. It is not easy thing. We must forget whatever he says. We should just do it. So half an hour he himself was doing this. It was too much for me to bear this. And then that was the last day of his universal work. He completed that work, whatever he had to do at the time. During his physical lifetime, he completed. But what is left out? To release that work, to release release that work, of course, he had to release. So then on 30th January, I never saw Baba taking rest. But after completing that work, from 7 to 9, he was in complete rest. Complete rest. No spasm, nothing. And I was very, very happy. Oh, change has taken place. Change has taken place. Now Baba's health is improving. But then Baba asked me to sit there, not on the bed, not to hold him. So I was sitting there and I was thinking that Baba's health is improving. And vision, one after another, that we are taking Baba's body to MeherBabad. And we are just, people are coming there, weeping and weeping. And I would just become alert. Why these thoughts are coming? Why these thoughts are coming? Then another thought. Automatically, I would just think that why I am getting this thought. And just soon after, another thought. I would see that dust compound, that I am working there. And many workers are there. I am handling the work. Again, I would just check why this thought. Then I would just see that at MeherBabad, Baba's body was there. And press reporters, they would come, ask different questions. All this, and I would just feel, why this? But that he was telling me what I had to do. I would not have taken up this trust work. No, because I did not come to him for that purpose. I would not have taken. Had he asked me, I would have done that. But my intention was not that. Trust work. Only thing in this age, you find the trust. And trust, not only trust was created, but he involved all the Mandli members. All the Mandli members were there in the trust. So this is for the first time it happened. And then of course, at 9 o'clock, spasm started. Spasm after spasm. And this time, more and more, very severe. And I was just thinking that Baba was taking rest after so many months. I saw him taking rest, and what is happening now? At 4 o'clock, Baba asked me to call the Mandli. So all the Mandli members were there. Then, of course, we were attending, all holding his body, but spasm. This were so severe that his body would come like this, up and down, up and down. Baba said, when I was Jesus, my crucifixion was only for a day. But you have no idea how I am crucifying every day. Every day I am crucifying. You have no idea. Then Baba said that when I was Jesus, I said, "Oh Father, forgive them all, for they know not what they are doing." And now I say, "Oh Father, forgive them all, for they know not what will happen." What will happen? Now we just see what is happening. It will be more and more. It is the beginning. It will be more and more and more. We will not be able to understand all this. But people will suffer like anything. But be brave. Be strong. He is there with us. And that's why he has brought us in his contact. Don't worry about this. The world is illusion. Nothing in illusion. Everything happens in illusion. In reality, nothing happens. Nothing happens. Only truth exists. But in illusion, of course, all these things happen. Good, bad, everything. So then, of course, at 6 o'clock, then Baba asked us to go and call the women Maldi. When Maldi came, Baba said, and just took little tea. Spasm were continued. And then he sent the women Maldi, and we were there. We were there. Baba had asked Aloba to bring that board at 10 o'clock in his room. What was that board? 3 couplets of Hafiz. 3 couplets on obedience. Do you know that? Persian? Alright, Persian you say. English? Who knows English? She has written. Yes, good. Very good.
Befitting a fortunate slave, carry out every command of the master without any question of why and what. About what you hear from the master, never say it is wrong, because, my dear, the fault lies in your own incapacity to understand him. I am the slave of the master, who has released me from ignorance. Whatever my master does is of the highest benefit to all concerned.
So this is the last message Baba has given. Last message, of course, so many times he repeated, but to call the board in his room at 10 a.m., that is the most important thing. And at that time, after this, Baba says, Maya is killing me, but I will win. Maya is killing me, but I will win. And then, of course, Baba, on 29th January, 30th January, Dr. Grant from Pune, Khamer wanted to take him to Pune. And Baba said, don't do that. Don't do that. I will not go to Pune, I will not go anywhere. Don't do that. And then, of course, Khamer said, let me just call Dr. Grant. He would come previously also. So Dr. Grant, he was called. And he was called and he was told that I will come as early as possible. But the order was that he should see, Dr. Grant came. And Dr. Grant came with 2 nurses. And he examined Baba. And Baba, he says to Baba, Baba, you are all right, you are strong. And Baba says, my time has come. My time has come. You did not follow, we did not follow. My time has come. And then that doctor himself puts his problem of his medical foundation before Baba. And Baba, of course, explained to him what he should do. Then his problem was solved. Then 2 nurses, they came. So they also put their problem before Baba. No spasm, nothing. And he was quite changed, looking very glorious. And then, of course, Baba solved their problem and they left. As soon as they left, the spasm started. Spasm after spasm. And then Baba said, inform Dr. Ginde. Dr. Ginde, his son is here. Very, very fortunate. Very fortunate. Baba would like him and he was the one who was allowed to be at Meherazad. Otherwise, Baba would not allow anyone to stay at Meherazad. Dr. Ginde. And Dr. Ginde was such that Baba wants me, he immediately put condition that he should see Dr. Grant in Pune. While coming when he came to Pune, he went to see Dr. Ginde and Dr. Grant. And Dr. Grant says, yesterday I went there. No, it was 30th Dr. Ginde, Dr. Grant came, and 31st. So he was coming to Bombay, and he left Bombay very early, and he was coming, and he went to see Dr. Grant. Now Dr. Grant says, have this breakfast and go. He says, no, I don't want, I have to go. Yesterday I went there. Papa is all right, don't worry. I have seen, I examined, he's very strong. And he did not allow him to come. And of course, he had to take breakfast. It took time. And Baba asked whether Dr. Ginde arrived. So then he asked Aloba to go to the pumping station. There was phone 1 mile away. To phone Adi and find out whether Dr. Grant has arrived there. But Dr. Ginde has arrived there. And given the message that as soon as he comes, you just bring him here. 3 times Baba remembered. That 3 times whether Dr. Ginde arrived. But he came 15 minutes late. 15 minutes late, he was so anxious just to go. But this Dr. Grant, of course, said to him that yesterday I went to Baba and it was all right. Then after he dropped the body, and then Khaver, of course, called Dr. Brisbane from Ahmednagar. Now this story is very, very touching. Dr. Brisbane, he was in Booth Hospital, that is Salvation Army. And what happened one day, Dr. Brisbane, his wife, administrator and his wife went to Happy Valley, which is 5 miles from Meherazad, just to have picnic. They went there, but thousands of bees, they were bitten by bees, and very bad condition. And Dr. Brisbane says to the administrator that it will not be possible for us to go to Ahmednagar. So Meher Baba is somewhere here, take us to the ashram. There must be some arrangement. So they come. I was with Baba. And Khaver, of course, they were just, there was nothing in Meherazad, benches, so they were lying down in the benches, and all Mandli members and that their thorn bees, so they would just take out, and Dr. Khaver was arranging injection. And Baba sends me to call Khaver and see what is going on there. Because when they came, so the car, some sound was there, find out. So I went there. And Baba said to call Khaver, and she was preparing for injection. So Khaver comes running. What is Baba? This is an emergency case. They are bitten by thousands of bees, and there is no hope of survival. Let me do. Go. After 2 minutes, again he would send me, call Dr. Khair. And still she was preparing the injection. And she would come running. And he said, Baba, tell me, what do you want? They will die. I was like, oh. And Dr. Brisbane, he was listening. He was listening means when I would call Ghave, so he was paying attention because he had to give injections. 2 minutes, one injection, again Baba said, call Ghave. And I would again call. And she would come running. What do you want, Baba? They will die. I was like, and of course, Brisbane, because he was a doctor, he knew that even 25 bees, he was with, but 25 bees, no hope to die. And here they were just given injections, and again 4 injections when she completed, again Baba called, and third injection, again Baba called. Each time she would do injection and Baba would call. And she would say, Baba, what do you want? Please tell me. Go. So Brisbane knew that Meher Baba is not just ordinary one. He saved their lives. He knew that more than 25 bees, if you are bitten by bees, you cannot survive. And how they survived, so he knew. And he was the one, afterwards, he said, I saw God in human form. I saw God in human form. Baba had already dropped his body. And then, after 15 minutes, our Dr. Ginde comes. Dr. Ginde, when he saw, he could not say a word. He was just, what happened? He remained there. And but he could not console because he himself was not consoled by anyone. How could he console anyone? And then when we went there to Meherabad, he was there. So people from Ahmednagar, they came and they said that you brought like this here. He should be taken in procession at Ahmednagar. People should know. Nobody knew what was happening here, but the beloved, he remained aloof from all this. Aloof, no one. Only thing and the message was given. And what was that message? Meher Baba dropped his body in order to live active in every heart. In every heart. He is really active in every heart. How you come to him? How? It is his work. He is doing. And why he is doing? Because it is his responsibility. His responsibility, and that's what previously I told you, that there are two things, divine will and divine wish. According to divine will, everything happens. Good, bad, everything. This terrorist, of course, they attacked Pentagon and World Trade Center. It is also under divine will, but it is not under divine wish. Divine will, no one can understand. It can be experienced through divine wish. And divine wish, divine will, it never changes, unchangeable. But divine wish changes age after age, according to the situation. Different situation, then different, of course, according to the situation, we must act. So divine wish is that which can work out the divine will, and we experience divine will. It has, according to the time, it changes, not the same thing. Love thy neighbor. This morning, I had a talk with her. How is your house? She said, house, what to tell, of course. Neighbors are very bad. They are giving lot of trouble. What the Lord has said, love thy neighbor. Here, they are thinking of moving somewhere because of the neighbors who are giving lot of trouble. So I said that put one board there, love thy neighbor. Yeah. So the time, but whether that board is put up, whether they can follow that, people just see the priest, the ministers, how they are just they are giving these speeches every day, new thing. Even this that water they give, water or what, every disease. You will be just well if that water you drink. Price so much. So this is going on. So love thy neighbor. Even if you put the board, they are not going to listen. They are not going to follow. So this is the situation. According to this situation, this wish Baba has expressed. And this, if you follow this, you will work out the divine will. So great thing Baba has given. His body. Okay. So Baba's body was kept there for 7 days. 7 days body was there, and people, they would come weeping and weeping. They would go, they would have his darshan, and darshan, he would look bright and glorious. Bright and glorious, so when they would come out of the tomb, they would smile, they would talk. Otherwise, they were just shedding tears. So he made the change. Shop he has opened. He dropped his body, but his shop is open. And in that shop, of course, you are the fortunate ones who have got the fortune to drink. When you remember him, what happens? You are drinking from the shop. You are drinking. Yes.
You just finally tell us what he said to you at 9 o'clock and 1 o'clock the night before. I am not.
Ah, good. Good that you asked me. 9 o'clock, that spasm began. He was having this spasm after spasm. This is 30th January. So, and he took 2 hours rest that day. Work was completed. Only thing to release that work. So after that, of course, he was releasing. So then at 10 o'clock, on 30th January, he says to me, remember this, I am not this body. Of course, so many times Baba has told that I am not this body. In order to appear before you, I have taken this form, but I am not this. But that night, when he says, remember this, I am not this body. Then, after 1 hour at 11, Again he says, remember this. But remember this, he did not say through signs. Remember this, yaad rakh. It is Hindi. Yaad rakh means remember this. I am not this body. That was not in Hindi. I am not this body. Then at 12, again he says to me, remember this through signs. I am not this body. But one time, of course, yaad rakh means remember this. And then, of course, I was very much touched. Why Baba is telling me, remember this, I am not this body. So it affected me so much. And because of that, after he dropped his body, I could do that work immediately. I started the work he had given to me. Otherwise it was very impossible. Ghair, Iraj, money. What they were doing, they opened the dispensary. And they were working in the dispensary. I was working in my room. And in very difficult period for us, when he was not physically, it took time. But I would remember when some thought would come, I would remember, Mama said, yaad rakh, I am not this body.
Was that said by sign, or did you hear?
No, that it came out.
We spoke.
Very, very feeble words, yaad rakh. Only this, yaad rakh, remember this. Only words. Then afterwards, I was in hospital and Rajnishi, this one, he stood up, show your face. So he would go to German bakery there, near the hospital, and of course so many people would be there. Then he would talk about Meher Baba. They were Rajnishi, but they would come and meet me. Then again, what happened after this heart surgery? Then I went to cancer hospital because intestinal obstruction was there. I went back to Meherabad. And this happened, so again I went to that hospital. And then of course one person, he told me that Meher Baba Rajnish, of course he was telling us that Meher Baba, so many times he said, fix the time and date that I would speak. But he could not speak. He tried and tried, but he could not speak. Because once you go to silent state, then you can't speak. And that's why he could not speak. He tried and tried, but he could not speak. Then I just remembered why Baba said, yaad rakh. Why did he say? He said that Rajnish was telling that vocal cord after some years, then it does not work. And that's why he tried and tried, but he could not speak. So that was the answer I got after so many years. And that's why in people, but why did I not tell anyone? The reason was that I knew that was not the breaking of his silence. Silence he had observed for his universal work. And unless that universal work, his universal manifestation takes place, he cannot speak. His speaking means not through mouth, but it will be to create awareness. When awareness is created, it will be as if he has broken his silence. So his silence is connected, that was the medium for his work. So that work, that means his silence will be broken when his universal manifestation will take place.